Welcome to Banahene Tutorial Collections, and in this particular video I am going to share with you 5 productive operations that you can explore within your Windows interface. And as you all know, Windows is the most used operating system. So when you have this particular operating system installed on your computer system, we have so many operations you can comply with, and that is going to help your productivity and also the better usage of Microsoft Windows. And as I said, I am going to share 5 productivity tips you can explore that can help you to work better and faster when you get access to your computer system. Now, the first productivity tip is to minimize all windows. And currently you can see that I have 4 windows opened on my desktop, and let's assume that at this instant I want to get access to the desktop and perform another operation. Now, how can you minimize these windows? Traditionally, you have to click on the minimize button of all these windows and minimize them. Presently, we have only 4 windows. This might be a time saving when you try to manually minimize them. But let's assume that you have about 6 to 8 windows opened on your desktop. How can you minimize them? The best trick is to hold the Windows key and the letter D. This minimizes all your windows and you get access to your desktop interface. And if you want to bring back your windows, you can still hold the Windows and the letter D, and this brings back your windows on your desktop, and you can work with all your windows per your wish. So minimizing them, you hold Windows D, and to bring back your windows, Windows D. So this keyboard shortcut can help you to get you access to the desktop and also bring you back to your opened windows. Another way to minimize all your windows is to hold the Windows key and the letter M, and this minimize, and if you want to bring it back, you hold the Windows and the Shift key and the letter M. So I have showed you 2 keyboard shortcuts. Windows D minimize, Windows D brings back your windows, and Windows M minimize, Shift Windows M brings back your window. So these are some of the productivity tips you can explore whenever you have a lot of windows. Let's assume that you get to your friends or your colleagues room and he has a lot of windows opened. He wanted you to perform another task on the desktop. Using the traditional way, this will be the best option to use. That is to use the keyboard shortcut to minimize all the windows at once. Then you get access to the desktop. Now this moves us to the second tip, that is to restart your computer system. So let's assume that you want to restart your computer system. Traditionally, you move to the start button, then you click on power, and then you choose restart. But you can use this simple trick, that is you hold the Alt key and the F4 on the keyboard. This brings the shutdown Windows dialog box. You can click on the drop down arrow, choose restart, and then you click on OK. Now another way to do this is to hold the Windows key and the letter X. This brings your hidden start menu. Then you press U on the keyboard, and you also press the letter R to restart your computer system. So this also helps you to restart your computer system in an easy way. Now moving to the third tip I'm going to share with you is to check your icon properties. Now let's assume that you have these icons on a desktop and you want to check the property of an icon. You can place your pointer on it, right click, then in these options you choose properties. Now this brings the properties of this particular icon on your desktop. Now the easy way is when you select the icon, hold the Alt key and the Enter key. Now this brings out the properties of that particular icon, and you can navigate through this window to check all the options that relate to this icon. So this is an easy way to check the properties of an icon on your desktop background. That is especially if you want to know the size of a file or any other item on your desktop. You can use this trick, select and hold the Alt key and the Enter key, and this shows you the properties of that particular icon. The next tip is to create folders. Now we all know the traditional way of creating folders. You right click, choose new, then in the side menu choose folder and create your folder. Now the easy way to create a folder is to hold the Control key, the Shift key and the letter N, and this creates a folder. So you can see that I have used this simple trick to create folders on my desktop. So if at an instance in your company or institution you want to create a folder and organize your most important files, use this simple trick. Hold Ctrl, Shift and letter N, and that makes your work easier. Now this moves us to the last tip in this particular video. Let's assume that we want to select multiple items on our desktop. So to do this, you can sometimes click and drag to select, but let's assume that you want to select randomly on your desktop background. This is when you hold the Control key on the keyboard, and then after holding the Control key, you click, 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 and this helps you to select multiple items on your desktop background. Now let me show you this. Let's assume that your keyboard or the Control key is not functioning properly, or your keyboard is not available, but you still want to select multiple items with your mouse. Then you move to your taskbar and click on the File Explorer. Now when you click on the File Explorer, you're going to have this window. Let me maximize, and in this window we have the View tab here, and under the View tab we have this ribbon available. Now in this ribbon we have the Show and Hide group, and in the Show and Hide group we have this command known as Options. Click on the drop down arrow and select Change Folder and Search Options. Now when you do this, you get this folder options, and in this folder options we are going to click on the View tab. In the View tab, use this scroll bar and scroll down and select Use checkboxes to select items. Click on this checkbox to check, and then click on Apply and click on OK. Now let's minimize this window. Now back to our desktop. When you hover your mouse pointer on any of this icon, you see a checkbox. You click and that is checked. Click, click. So you can see that we are selecting multiple items solely with the mouse, without a keyboard. So these are some of the productivity tips you can utilize on your Windows interface that is going to make your work very easy and also comfortable. Thank you for watching this video, and we shall meet in our next tutorials.